streak then. Besides, life's full of wins and losses, and in order to truly win, we must learn from our losses first. Does that make sense? It's that simple. And the third and last step is to make your environment positive. Or, in other words, don't eat junk food. Because if we surround ourselves with pessimistic people and negative news, then won't our minds become filled with junk too? So today, I ask you to choose to surround yourselves with optimistic people and positive news instead. For instance, you can learn about the positive social transformation happening around the world right now, or about the acts of kindness people are doing for each other during this pandemic. Or you can even go out there and do an act of kindness for someone, even if it's as simple as connecting with a friend or relative who you haven't checked on in a while. Remember, little things do go a long way. And this is especially true when every day more than ever before could be someone's last. With these steps in mind, I think COVID-19 shouldn't be seen as a curse to be abhorred, but as a challenge to be accepted. A challenge for the world to establish healthy habits, re engineer economies, and revolutionize society for the fundamental welfare of all. Above all, I believe COVID 19 is a challenge of personal growth. Of course, only within the confines of one's home. But that's what I've been doing, growing. I've been exercising a lot more since this quarantine started. I've been working on my music career a lot more. And most importantly, I've been engaging with my global fan base a lot more. Because I know COVID 19 may make us physically distant, but it does not have to make us socially isolated. And to show you that this is possible, even from half a world away, I'd like to introduce to you one more ray of hope. If there's anyone I know who best fits the definition of a child prodigy, this person would be the textbook example. I first found out about who he was in 2016 when we worked with 43 other child prodigies worldwide on a cover of Michael Jackson's classic song Heal the World. Years later, we got to spend an entire afternoon together at the Steinway Hall in New York, shortly after he won the world's best. That's when, from talking to him, I realized that none of his amazing achievements have truly defined him. Music defines him. His unending passion for doing what he loves has taken him all throughout the world, and now he's returning yet again to the TEDxGateway platform. So please show your love as we welcome the one and only Lydian Nadhaswaram.
Thank you, Sparsh. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. How are you, man? How's it been since quarantine?
Yeah, it was really good. and
That's
I
good to know.
I get to stay at home and practice my musical instruments, so we're having a good time.
That's awesome. I hope you always stay on the grind like that.
Thank you.
And speaking of practicing, I mean, this is a musical event, so we would all love for you to showcase your amazing work. So, would you want to perform something for us, Lydian?
Sure. To start with, I would like to play We Are the World by Michael Jackson.
Awesome. Dude, that was amazing.
Thank you,
That
Sparsh.
was wow, so beautiful. I was singing along with you when the chorus came, just letting you know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, awesome.
So, we would like to hear something from you now. So, can
Me?
you? Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. All right then. So this song that I'm going to sing,
Uh-huh.
it is a it's a recent Bollywood song from the movie Kesari,
Uh-huh.
and this is none other than Teri Mitti, and I just wanted to first of all dedicate this to not only all of our soldiers, but I think I also want to dedicate this to all everyone in the medical field on the front lines,
Mm-hmm.
and as it was said in the reprise very well, सरहद पे जो वर्दी खाकी थी अब उसका रंग सफेद हुआ. So without further ado, here's Teri Mitti.
Yes.
Okay. तलवारों पे सरवार दिए, अंगारों में जिस्म जलाया है, तब जाके कहीं हमने सर पे ये केसरी रंग सजाया है. ए मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सहे, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चल जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे. ओ मेरी ज़मीं महबूब मेरी, मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे, फीका न पड़े कभी रंग तेरा जिस्मों से निकल के खून कहे. तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू. तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू. वो हंसती रहे तेरी आंख घड़ी पर नम ना हो, मैं मरता था जिस मुखड़े पे कभी उसका उजाला कम ना हो. ओ माई मेरी क्या फिक्र तुझे, क्यों आँख से डरिया बहता है, तू कहती थी तेरा चांद हूँ मैं और चांद हमेशा रहता है. तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू. तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरी खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू. To everyone who is fighting on the front lines of COVID-19 right now, I just want to let you know that you will always be remembered. Our deepest gratitude belongs to you. Kesari. Thank you so much.
That was awesome, Sparsh. It was just mind
Thank you.
blowing.
Thank you, man. Your performance is mind blowing, and I
Thank you.
think it's safe to say all of us want to hear more from you. So, would you want to play one more song?
Okay. So now I'm going to be doing a special thing. So I'm going to be playing two songs simultaneously.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So everyone, I think you should definitely write it down in the chat. Let's see if you guys can get the songs right.
Okay. So I love my country, and to show my love and respect, I'm doing this. And I'm going to play two songs. So one of them is our national anthem, and another song is a very patriotic song and a famous song, and it's composed for unity in diversity. And the song name is Mille Sur Mera Tumhara. So, so I already revealed it. So I'm sorry. So here it goes.
It's all good. I think we're gonna enjoy it anyway. Oops. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Sparsh.
Bharat Mata ki jai.
Yeah, but and this is the first time I'm doing it, so I feel really happy.
That's amazing. Wow. I can tell you put in the work on that. That's an amazing feat to do.
Thank you, Sparsh. So
Well,
now you like to do something, sing something for us.
sure thing. Okay, so this song is an original song that I wrote 5 years ago,
Mm.
but I didn't get to release until my birthday this year, which was on April 30. So this song is now out on YouTube, and it's a song of hope for anyone who may be feeling down. And it's just a message that, hey, there's always tomorrow. That's a song name, by the way.
Yeah.
So here it goes. Have you ever felt alone, or maybe not at home? Did you want to give up? Cause maybe it was too much. Well, you might not have wings, but you can still fly and you can sing. Because who you are doesn't matter, cause you're a superstar. There's always tomorrow. No need for the sorrow. We will make it if we can. Come back from where we began. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Life's a mountain with steep and bumpy edges. Yeah, and you
And that was just awesome.
Thank you, man. Awesome. So I think it's over to Mr. Yashraj now, right?
Thank you, guys. I mean, I was just lost. Amazing. Uh, how do you guys do this? How do you guys, every time I hear you sing or I see you on the stage or see a video, both of you end up surprising me. I've seen you as kids, right? Like 4, 5 years, 3.5 years ago. And Lydian hardly spoke then. He was a shy guy who would go behind his father. And here he is
Mm,
today hosting, co-hosting with you. How do you guys do this?
yeah.
What inspires you to do this?
uh,
You go first, Lydian.
People like you makes us inspire.
110%.
Oh, there's some romance there, though. That's so nice. But what about you, Sparsh? How do you keep going? How do you reinvent yourself? It's been tough for artists across the world. The stage itself has now just become digital, and there's so many
Yeah,
artists out there that are finding it difficult to go find their audience again. What is your
agreed.
message to in such times to people who are there who really want to keep up their passion in the art that they believe in, and they really want to go through this? What is your message to them?
I think my message is keep the fire going. And because passion, I mean, our I like to think of it as, look, if we have a purpose in life and our passion is the vehicle that takes us there, right? And we just have to keep going through discipline, through just keep that fire going, cuz it's just amazing. Even though we may not have all the tools we need to, like, the music industry has been taken aback because of this, as you said. But I think also we have new opportunities. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I've always believed that. And I just think that the best thing we can do is to adapt to our surroundings, right? And use what we've been given to the best of our ability. Because, hey, 100 years ago, musicians just like us would have been dying for the tools that we have to spread their messages to the world. So I think God has placed us in the perfect time and place in history in order to do this. And I'm just so blessed that I am able to do that. So every time I reinvent myself, I always try to, the best thing is you always go back to the why. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I know that I have struggled, but I have come out as a victor. And every day I believe is a battle, and I want to win. So for me, I think my biggest reason for going out and doing these performances is because I know that this is the unique assignment that God gave me to do, and I'm going to do all in my power to fulfill it, so that I can sparsh as many. Oops, I could sparsh as many hearts as possible.
Amazing. You told us the why. I want to know when. When did you realize that music was your calling? This is also a question from Vijay Rajam, just bringing it up here to both of you. When did you realize that music was your calling?
uh, Sparsh, you wanna go?
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, sure. I mean, I've been singing ever since I could remember, to be honest with you. But I also did have another childhood aspiration. Like when I was really young, I wanted to be a paleontologist. I was really obsessed with prehistoric animals and everything. And I was like, my mom and dad, everyone used to call me a walking encyclopedia of dinosaurs. It was crazy. Um, so when people ask me when I wanted to be when I grow up, I would say, hey, I wanted to be a paleontologist. And I was thinking, I might even go to like great colleges like Yale. And I was literally at that point, I was looking up where would I go if I want to be a paleontologist for college. But then I started realizing through a lot of performances, and I've been learning Indian classical music for almost 11 years, Western for almost 5 years. And as that went on with the performances and everything, I started realizing that the way I was able to touch people's lives, it was radically different. And it was so much more, I guess, it was such a more enthralling experience and wholesome for me. And I understood that in time. I think I was around 10 or 11, because that's when I started songwriting I started songwriting at age 10, and I won the Young Voice of New York City competition at the age of 11 and became the youth ambassador for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. By the way, that inspired There's Always Tomorrow, this the youth ambassador thing. So I think for me, it was like um that's when I realized that my calling was music, and that was how I was going to reach my goal of inspiring other people. How about you, Lydian?
Me, I started my career at age 2, as far as I remember. And my father is a musician, and my sister is a musician. And they used to do a lot of concerts, and I used to mingle with them and accompany them on the drums. And then we did a lot of shows together all over India and also in abroad, like Australia, Malaysia. And then my first break, it was like when I was like 9 years old. uh, During 2013, I was been awarded as the youngest best drummer from Pogo channel. And that was my first break. And when I was 4 years old, I went along with my family to Australia, and I performed there. And that was my first international concert. And then my father used to follow a lot of TV shows and talk shows, and but not reality shows, because he didn't wanted me to send to any competitions. So he was concentrating more on talk shows and posting my piano videos and my music videos in YouTube. And then a competition pitched to us. It's called the World's Best. The reason why we accepted is uh, whenever uh, if I do something tough or hard or anything little different, my father used to say, if you do this, this is world's best. If you do this, this is world's best. So I heard that word for a long time, and a competition pitched to us naming the world's best. So we didn't wanted to miss that, and that was my first ever competition in America. And we went there, we participated there, and contestants were there from 195 countries, and I was really enthralled to see them all. And there were like 50 judges and 3 American judges. So it was totally a bonkers experience for me uh, to participate in that competition, and I passed all the episodes and I won. That's it.
Wow, crazy. Sparsh and Lydian, both of you have had an illustrious career. And I mean, I don't even want to say it as a career because things are just beginning for you guys. But when you look back, I know for a fact, on Sparsh's side, it's his family, Lydian's side, it's your family too. How important has that role been when you have people in your family support this? How important is the role of a supporter? And what is your advice to young artists and artists like you on finding the right supporters?
Uh, so do you want me to say first, Sparsh?
Please go on. Any if you just pick up, just start. It's okay.
Okay, my family is really a biggest support for me, and they motivate me in all possible ways. And I'm not so much experienced to advise any kids. Even I am a learner, and I will be learning throughout. So just practice, practice, practice. That's it.
Sparsh, what about you?
100% agree with that statement. 110%. Sorry. My family, I mean, look, they're everything to me. And I mean, having your family support, I think, is one of the biggest things ever, because your family's with you from the very beginning. And if you have their support, then I think you know for a fact that no matter what the world will tell you or what they'll say to you, you will always have somebody's back, and they will always push you to reach the goal that you were called to fulfill. And big example I can say is, when I started posting YouTube videos, especially when I came out with my first break, which was my Not Afraid cover with Eminem, I got a lot of hate comments on YouTube, and people were saying nasty stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, people were saying I was a terrorist because they misunderstood the alap in the beginning of my song. People were saying I was a muppet because I mean, of my condition. It was bad. But I mean, I've always learned, my mom and dad have always told me to ignore the haters. Like, and I honestly, I show love to them because I mean, the only way we can drive out hate in this world is through love. Hate doesn't do that, love does. And I think the fact from that, I think I learned that, if I have my family with me and they're backing me through every step of the way, then um, that's everything to me. So all I would say is that, to all the parents out there, your children have amazing dreams, amazing talents, amazing gifts, and amazing passions. And I think the best we can do to do justice to them, in my humble opinion, is let's support our children the whole way, because at the end of the day, we're the generation that's going to be running the world.
Very well said, Sparsh and Lydian. But you know what? When I grew up, music wasn't really encouraged, right? And even now, a lot of people don't really encourage a career in music unless and until, the parents or the surrounding is supportive. But that's not true for a lot of people. How do they seek inspiration, and what's been your biggest inspiration apart from your family? This is also a question which I've slightly changed a bit. It was a question by Ashok Ramamurthy, and I've added a bit of his question and added a bit of mine. But over to you guys.
Uh, Other than my family, my inspiration, my father used to show me a lot of child prodigies playing, music and all other arts, and they are my biggest inspiration. Yeah, that's
Any particular one?
Sparsh.
Wait, for real?
Yeah,
Oh,
of
thanks,
course.
bro. That means a lot. Thank you. I think my biggest inspiration, apart from my family, I mean, I have my friends, my fans. They've been with me. They're my largest support network, and I think also just my biggest inspiration is God. And I say that with 110% my whole heart and soul, because I know that my very life is a miracle. And like you said, I was given only 2 days to live by the doctors. And I know for a fact that if God hadn't spared me then we wouldn't be here. Very simple. And I think, honestly, it's not just by his kindness, but I think everything in life is happens as part of happens for a reason. And so I think it's always been his plan all along to bring me to this level. And I think that not only gives me a great sense of purpose, but it also gives me a great sense of responsibility and humility, because I know that at the end of the day, the only person I'm answering to is him. So I'm going to make sure I do my work and I do it right.
You
So
know,
that's for me.
thank you for that. I have had the ringside privilege of having a ringside view of both of you performing, rehearsing, both of you being coached by your parents for the performance and all. And I honestly feel that Lydian has this fire inside of him to go do something. And Sparsh, both of you, it's very unique, right? It's so unique to see two passionate people. One has a fire inside to do something, and the other has a fire to go out to people and help them. Sparsh, I see that from you, and Lydian, I see that from you. Both of you have, in a way, internalized this, that when Lydian says, I will better myself every time. And this shy boy sitting in the corner, I know every time he's rehearsing. Even while you were talking, Sparsh, he was rehearsing, right? And that's like, I'm going to be a better version of me. And Sparsh, I see you're like this blanket that wants to give. You absorb, like you just pull people's thoughts. How do you do this? How do you do this, guys? Both of you are from two different worlds and two different kind of passions that you chase. How do you do what you do?
You want to go first, Sparsh?
All right, sure. I think I've always just I think my mom and dad have always taught me, first of all, that with in terms of anything that I do in life, money and fame are always the byproducts. They are not the be all end all. And the be all end all is really just to make a difference in other people's lives. And ever since I understood the fact that I have been given this condition for a reason, I feel like it's been my responsibility, more like my duty to give, because I know that I have something to give to this world that nobody else can give, and so do you, right? Everyone here in this world has something to give to the world and something to contribute that nobody else can, because they're not you and I'm not you, right? So I think for me, it's just the fire has always been there to give to other people, because I know that it's better to give than to receive. But I also agree with what Lydian has been saying, and I know, especially since quarantine started, like I really mean it when I say that I've like been exercising more, music career more, and everything. And I like to say that, I think Lydian will definitely agree to this, that my own philosophy has now become, if I am is greater than I was, then I'm making progress. And as long as I'm making progress, I will be in my 90s and I will still be singing just like Pablo Casals,
Mhm.
because he was making progress too.
Fabulous. Guys, those of you asking for more performances, please keep in mind we will be having some more performances right after this Q&A. Back to the Q&A. How do you deal with the negative? That's a question that's come up. How do you deal with the challenges? You said, what a lot of people commented on your videos before, and that was, I felt it was quite upsetting that people do that, but that's reality. And Lydian, how do you deal with people in, let's say, when it's a rejection or when people don't believe you, or even when there is no opportunity and people don't want to give it to you? How do you deal with that?
Uh, we just avoid that, and whatever my dad says, I just go in that way.
Sparsh, what
I
about you?
feel Yeah, I feel you on that, Lydian. It's always best to take the advice of the wisdom of somebody who's already been through it. Um, and I would just say that, think of, look, if negative, I think, like I was saying, we have to destroy those ants, the automatic negative thoughts, and we have to fight back, I think, with positive thoughts. And I think every time, for example, let's say I got a hate comment, or every time that um, I may have, faced some sort of, every time I faced rejection, every time I may not have gotten to do everything that I wanted to do, right? Because my condition in some ways is a little limiting, but I know at the same time that it's been given to me for a far greater reason than the thing that I'm missing out on. So I always try to think of it on the bright side. And I guess you could say, no matter how long and dark the night, the sun will always rise. And even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes, at least as long as you keep digging on the path that you know will lead to the light, then you're making progress. So for me, I just keep digging, and um I keep digging, and I just know for a fact that there will be better times ahead. So I always tell people when they're having a bad day, I tell my friends that, life is full of hills and valleys, but the deeper the valley is now, the higher the mountain will be later. So you just have to have that hope and keep going. And that's why I say that's why I know that it's so important to have hope during COVID-19, because again, the valley is deep, but the mountain will be just as high when we get to the summit.
And what's your advice to those who are facing tough times right now? Not as to what you are doing, but what would your advice be to them? Because uh, depression is the silent killer, and that we're hearing such bad news from different people, very talented people who could not fight it. What's your advice, both of you, to someone out there who's probably fighting an invisible enemy, who probably feels that people are ganging up against him or her, or someone who says that all doors are closed? What's your advice to them?
I think Sparsh will say better than me, so let him continue.
You sure, Lydian?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thanks, bro. I think I love what you said when you said that they feel that all doors are closed, so I want to start there. I've always believed that God never closes a door without opening another. And let me tell you one thing, if He doesn't open another door, then you should probably take one more look around your house, because He probably opened up a window. So I think we have to realize that with every opportunity that gets closed, with especially with COVID-19 and everything, that the opportunities have gone down and everything. I think we have to realize that there is an opportunity for us to challenge the same passion and energy that we have into something different. Biggest example is literally this event. We may not be able to share the stage together on TEDx Gateway, but we can use the tools that we've been given, the internet, to do something like this, an amazing Zoom call where this live stream and everything, that we can still bring our message to, I mean, even more people than we could bring the message to on stage alone. So I think for anyone who's going through depression and feels like they're fighting that invisible enemy, fight the good fight, soldier. Like, I'm trust me, like, you are so much more worthy of your place in this world than you think you are. Like, I've always, yeah, sure, maybe none of us deserve the gift called life, but I think since we've been given it, we ought to do justice to that gift. So if you're ever thinking about, that you hit the deep end, just know that, once you hit rock bottom, the only place that you can go up, like the only place you can go when you hit rock bottom is up. So just trust that God has a plan for you, man. And you he's worth it, you're worth it, and the struggle itself is worth it, cuz a struggle is just another way to become stronger.
Oh man, those are amazing words. I can just imagine me and Lydian sitting in the corner and listening to you give this message across. It just gives you goosebumps, right? Because a lot of what you said, I resonate with it too. I mean, I think right from school to college, I've seen so many ups and downs, and I think the one thing that you said that resonated with me was, after a certain down, there is no down, right? It's only upside. There's only an upside. A lot of people actually end up forgetting that, and then they judge themselves. And today, with all the social media that's there, the way we are connected, the way you think people are judging you every second, people will go very hard on themselves. I think one message is to not go hard on yourself and to give yourself another chance, because if everything else stops, you only have you, and you should be the best judge of you to give yourself another chance. So thanks a lot for saying that, Sparsh. I think it's really inspiring that we have you guys here today. And I'm going to make sure that Lydian answers some questions. I don't want him to be passing all questions just to you. So the next one, I'm going to go a little off
Great.
topic and ask Lydian, how many hours do you practice, man? I mean, whenever I've seen you, either you're hiding behind your dad once or on the piano. So how many hours do you really, really practice that?
I'm doing my homeschooling. I'm not a regular school going boy. So whole day I'll be in music, and it depends upon the instruments and the songs what I'm playing. So that's a whole day I'll be in music.
But how many hours? I mean, I know you play around what, 5 or 6 instruments, or has it increased?
I play 26 instruments.
Okay, I've seen you play 5 or 6 at least. That's the videos that Varshan sends to me. We should make a list of 20 instruments you play.
Yeah, very
But how
soon.
do you perfect it? What is your way? How do you go about picking up a new music instrument and then really putting yourself? Can you just give us a brief of that? I'm sure Sparsh would want to know that, because 26 instruments, Sparsh. Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
So I would like so I love to compose music. So if there is a big orchestra sitting and we want to give notes to them, we should know the instrumentations, like how they play and in what fingering they play. So we need to know that instrument stations and orchestration. So for that, I'd like to learn even more instruments than what I play now. So that's a fact.
Okay, great. I have a question from Mayur Diaz. Uh, uh, Lydian and Sparsh, this person's seen you on the TEDx Gateway stage, and he wants to know, how
Mhm.
has it been in the last 4 years for you?
Uh, it was been an it was been an amazing experience for me, and I hope even Sparsh too. And I performed in a lot of TED shows, and that gave me an immense pleasure. And also this world's best competition I won, and I was being in the Ellen show, and I performed in Indian Symphony Orchestra, and I was the youngest Indian to perform with them. So
Wow.
yeah, it was awesome.
Dude,
What
that's
about you,
pretty
Sparsh?
amazing. Yeah. I mean, for me also, it's been an absolutely amazing journey. I mean, so much has happened in the last 4 years that I don't think I'll even touch the surface. But I've gotten to perform at a lot of big stages since then. I think for example, a lot of the stages that you said, I've performed in Madison Square Garden now 7 times, if that's anything. And I think in India, and also in India, I got to a couple of years after, like I think last year or 2 years ago, I got to perform at the season 10 finale of Kaun Banega Crorepati. So that was an absolutely amazing thing. And I mention this also because my dream, as I spoke in TEDx Gateway in 2015, was I want to perform in front of 1 billion people one day. And Kaun Banega Crorepati gave me the opportunity to do that because not only does India have 1 billion people, and this is one of India's most popular shows, but it also, this episode also got broadcasted to 185 other countries around the world. So I think it's safe to say that 1 billion people watched that show. And then actually after that, it happened one more time. I think last summer, I sang the national anthem in front of Prime Minister Modi ji and our U.S. President, Mr. Trump, at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, when Modi ji was addressing the Indian diaspora. So that also, I think they said the total between TV broadcasts and everything was broadcasted to about 2 billion people. So it happened twice, and so I think now the sky is no longer the limit, and I just cannot wait for the next opportunities that I hope to be that God will give me.
And I
Yeah.
missed a few things, so let me say that. So in these last 4 years, other than what I said, you see this piano here. So this is a piano called Steinway and Sons. So Steinway is the world's best brand. So it's like having a Rolls Royce in home. So it has always been my dream to have this piano and play on this piano. And this piano was a gift for me from an American millionaire and my well-wisher, and his name is Michael Novogratz. So we bow all our heads to him. And one more thing, and A.R. Rahman uncle. So after I won the world's best, he came to our home and he played in my piano and he felicitated me at his college, the K Music Conservatory, and Master Isaignani Ilayaraja sir. So he came in video call and he appreciated us all. So that was an wonderful experience.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And there's a question from Kalidas and Esha about what do you want to do in the future? What's your dream project like? And what collaborations are you looking up to in the future? This is a
Uh,
question to two of you. Lydian, you can start.
okay. So my dream is to play on the Moonlight Sonata, and I want to become a composer in Hollywood and also in our Indian film industry, and I want to become a world class pianist. That's it, and I'm working for that.
I think we all see that, Lydian. I think for me,
Yes, we do.
my my next my next big thing that I'm looking forward to is my debut album. Very simple. I mean, like I said, I started songwriting at the age of 10, and I've written around 55 songs now, and only two of them are out. One of them is a duet, and one of them is There's Always Tomorrow, which I just sang. And I guess you can say, with all those years of writing and not that much of putting out, it's kind of like a creative volcano that has been ready to explode. And so I think now is the time that the world finds out that I'm not just a cover artist and I have my own style, my own genre too. I invented a new subgenre of uh, a fusion between Indian classical music and hip hop, which I called raga rap. And so that, I want to bring out to the world, and just my music in general, because I know that there are so many people out there who could be inspired through the messages that I write in my songs, because every song I write has a message and it's straight from the heart. So I want people to understand, like, to know also a little bit more about my journey, because I very intimately relate that in my songs, and also just, to it's the start of a new era, I guess, for my career. And so I'm just so psyched for that. My biggest dream, I think, if anything, is just to go out and inspire as many people as I'm called to inspire. So everything in this project and all the other projects is just to lead up to that. And I'm working towards it too.
Amazing, guys. I have a question from Ralph Simon. Which international artists would you guys want to play with, and or would like to meet? Let me tell you a bit about Ralph. Ralph is a very big man in the world of music. We know him personally. I know him personally, and he's been a supporter of TEDxGateway. And trust me, him asking this question is probably he's going to try to figure out how to get you there. Right, Ralph? I know somewhere right there you are listening to me. Please do message me if you can get this to happen. So, guys, over to you. What do you wish for? Who do you want to meet or play
Um,
along with?
I had a dream of meeting Michael Jackson, but it didn't happen, and he's no more. But we still play his songs, and he's the biggest inspiration for me. And but now the current musicians, I want to meet Hans Zimmer and John Williams, and I want to play with them. And there's one of my favorite artists from London. His name is Jacob Collier, and he's amazing in music, and I would love to meet him.
You should talk to someone from our team, because we're trying to get Jacob to India. Once when things
Oh,
open up,
yeah, once he came to Mumbai, and
he
the
came
previous
to, yes,
yeah,
yeah. But I hope soon enough he'll play at a TEDx Gateway event.
yeah.
So Jacob, I can vouch for, and I'm sure Ralph can vouch for. The minute you said London, he's already made the phone call, I'm sure. Sparsh, what about you?
Um, to be honest, I mean, I'm open to working with everyone and anyone and everyone, but I think ever since I started with Not Afraid and everything, I think I definitely had a dream of performing on stage with Eminem. So if I ever get to do that, that would be like absolutely amazing. And also, I mean, Mr. Ralph, I mean, now that you say that he's such a big person in the music industry, I mean, hey, I'd love to meet you in person now, you know? And if we can make some music together, I'm totally down for that. I'm ready.
I'll connect you guys to him. He's always up and finding new talent, and I'm sure he has something worthy this time too. So my last question before I leave it to you guys to perform again is, all the positivity that you shared with us. What takeaways would you like to leave for your audience, especially the youngsters? This is a question from Sharon.
So you wanna start, Sparsh?
Okay, sure. I think I think in life, this may seem like a paradox, but I think it's definitely important to be both adaptable and resilient, especially during this time. I mean, we have to have a very, very firm resolve. No matter what happens, how high the cases climb, how much maybe the media may cover up or blow up the facts. I mean, let's be honest. We can't allow a microscopic object to rule our lives, can we? So I think, if anything, we should realize that not only are we greater than this virus, but also that, I know this is very cliche, but every storm passes. And I think what we have to do is we have to learn to not just wait out the storm, but we have to learn to weather the storm. So my advice for especially all the youth out there is keep your hopes up high, because this is not the end for you, and you have a great future ahead of you. And one day when we have kids and grandkids, we're going to be telling them this story like all the time, because this is like one of the biggest stories we can tell. And trust me when I say this, it will be a success story not a story of failure. And as Thomas Edison said, the failures in life are the people who didn't realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So don't give up, please, because again, you're worth your place in this world and you're worth this great fight. It's not just you, but we're all in this together. So I think the three things that I talked about, acceptance, destroying your ants, and making your environment positive. I think that'll not only help us during this pandemic, but all challenging times to come. And if we can learn that, then we can pass those lessons on to our progeny, and they can use those to be successful in life.
Just to give you a quick update, Sparsh and Lydian, Ralph replied that he's going to get your requests done. He's already calling some of these guys, and hopefully this will happen soon. So over to you, Sparsh and Lydian.
That's amazing.
Please take us away.
Yeah. Lydian, do you want to do your last performance?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, unfortunately, it's the last, but I mean, all good things sometimes come to an
What
end.
you want me to play?
Whatever you want, man. I mean, you said it was your dream to perform the Moonlight Sonata on the Moon, right?
Yeah.
And I also know that you can play the third movement, which is presto agitato, like fastest movement, blindfolded?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's cool. Would you mind demonstrating that to us, please? Because I feel like a lot of people will not believe that until they see it.
Okay, now I'm going to play Moonlight Sonata third movement blindfolded, right? Okay, just give me a little bit time. I'll just search my blindfold. I'll be back.
While Lydian gets, he's supposed to always be coming here. This is exciting.
This is the same thing that he actually did on The World's Best. You guys should go see that performance if you ever get a time. I think it's on YouTube. But he played this thing.
It's also on the TEDxGateway talk. He did a blindfold and everyone was taken aback because he went on playing, really? And then he said, really want more? Now watch this. And he just killed it there. Okay, I think he's ready.
Wow,
Lydian?
Okay. I think less talking. Let's see him.
Yeah. So I'm blindfolded and I'm going to play.
Mind blowing. Are you guys seeing the chat box? We switched on the chat box. We have people from across the world, you know, uh, and some of these are my friends. I can see Prema Sagar, Ralph Simon, all of these guys who are watching you guys live. This was amazing. Look at the chat box. It's gone crazy. It's gone crazy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and there are virtual claps too, though we are not around you. But I know how much does appreciation mean for an artist. But if you just spend some time and look at the chat box, you'll see mind blowing. Guys, come on, keep it up. I love this. I love the feedback because I'm sure each one of these guys is from different parts of India. If you know, if you can share what cities are you from for our artists to see, please share it on your chat box, and you'll see that this is bigger than the TEDxGateway stage at NSCI or at a venue. This is across the world right now. And we are joined Mumbai, Tamil Nadu, Indore, Miami, Chennai, Ranchi, UAE, Ghaziabad, Dehradun, Dubai, Barcelona, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Chennai, Kolkata, Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, Alwar, Hyderabad, Hosur. Crazy, guys, crazy. The chat box going crazy for you guys.
Thank you so much. Sparsh, why don't you sing a song that we worked together, the Heal the World?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. And by the way, I just wanted to this chat box literally, it's amazing. And to use some modern lingo, but it's still an understatement. You were fire, Lydian.
Thank you.
That was so good. I mean,
Thank
my
you.
song is a really slow song, but it'll only do a little bit of justice to this. But I hope you like it most of all.
I loved it. And every little
Thanks.
nuance in your song was perfect. Even the tuning and the gamakas, and it was awesome.
Thank you, bro. Means a lot. All right, so here goes the last song. This is Heal the World.
Yeah.
Ready? By the way,
Yeah.
if y'all don't already know, Lydian played the piano on this. So, thanks. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space to make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. Then why do we keep strangling life when the search crucify its soul? Though it's plain to see this world is heavenly, because glow save this world so precious, so blessed and so dear. Protect this beauty and splendor, don't let that disappear. Preserve our animals and plants and humankind as well, so that our future generations can have a story to tell. Protect us from evil and spread the word of good, of peace, love, justice, virtue, and brotherhood. Cause we only have one earth and we can't waste our motherland, so let's move as one force. I think it's time to take a stand. Yeah, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
That's so good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I hate to do this, but we really crossed our 7 p.m. deadline, but I'm sure this was worth it. I have friends from across the world messaging us that this was probably the best thing to happen on World Music Day today. And I'm so happy that whoever joined in from whichever part of the world were able to see this live. Thank you, Sparsh, and thank you, Lydian. And thank you to your parents for encouraging you to come to where you are. And I really hope that you take this passion way ahead and inspire billions more. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yashraj.
Thank you all for joining in. We have another set of amazing webinars coming up next week. And those who want to look into the future of what currency and what new government systems look like, please join us for a session with Don Tapscott, who talks about blockchain and how blockchain is going to change a lot of things around us. Thank you to the TEDxGateway team. All those people that you see out here, listed here, spend countless amount of time with our speakers and our community to create these webinars. Thank you to all the attendees from every part of the world. It was heartwarming to see where you all are from. Thank you again. Join us next time and stay updated. Do join the community. We have a Facebook and Telegram page. You have links in your email, and do give us your feedback. Thank you again, Lydian. Thank you, Sparsh, and best of luck, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Oh, the comments are still going on. Look at it. Oh, my God. Thank you, Swati, Yogendra, Ishwar, Navya, Rexleen. I know you've been commenting a lot. Thank you. Alia, Esha, Sarah, Stella, Manish, Darshan Gandhi, Muskan Mirza.
Thank you. Oh, and also I just realized there's one thing. Vijay ji, Vijay Bharat ji, he had said something. He said, "May God." I just wanted to point this out. He said, "May God give us more of these amazing children." And all I can say to that is, they're already there. You just have to find the diamonds in the rough. Just wanted to say that, but. Thank you so much. Happy Music Day.
I don't want to
Happy
end this.
Father's Day.
Today's World Yoga Day. Today's World Music Day.
Yep.
God, amazing. We live in such interesting times, and I just feel that potential of doing these things virtually is unlimited. You know, it's crazy. Look at this. Look, it's just crazy. Oh, wow. Umaima says don't end it. Okay, we won't end it. Fine, we'll be here for you. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Ashok, Umaima, Swati, Pradyun, Prakash, Sunita, Deepak, Raj, Shrikant, Tushar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
To
you,
join the
Lydian.
community.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you,
You
Sparsh.
have
It was a pleasure.
you have the Facebook group URL, and we also have a Telegram page. You have the URLs coming to you on your email. Please do join in and stay in touch with us. And we look forward to hosting you next time. Thank you again. I need to end this, even though I don't feel like, but thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you.